Good morning, grade 9 history students. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a video check-in. I had a few tech issues, but thankfully it's all working again. Okay, my nice backdrop is returned. And I just wanted to send a quick message as we're coming up on our final week of online learning and our final week of classes for the school year. So the first thing I want to do is just point out a couple of things regarding our final project, because that deadline is coming up quickly. So again, just a reminder of where to find it. If we take a look here, we can look at the classwork. Okay. Some people look like it turned in the travel chart. Your travel charts are overall very well done. Only a couple students were late. The vast majority of you were on time. You can go ahead and unsubmit that, because you'll need to actually submit your actual final project with your travel chart. But the first thing I want to highlight is those of you will remember from the last class on Thursday, I've pushed up the deadline by just about 12 hours, so you can have the rest of the evening on Sunday to finish. So our deadline is now 7:30 a.m. on Monday the 15th. Late submissions will be penalized, so make sure you're getting that done. Don't save it until Monday morning to submit it. If I were you, I would still try to be finishing by the evening before. I'll change the wording here in a second. It's not 8 p.m. anymore on the 14th. It is now 7:30 a.m. on the 15th, just so you have a couple extra hours in the evening to finish that off. Okay, so if we take a look, just a couple of reminders. Your travel chart should be done. I've had some good questions about the travel chart and saying, can I just really include the info for my travel chart in the magazine? And the answer is definitely yes. That was the purpose of doing the travel chart, was to make the process of making the magazine a lot simpler for you. Now, remember, a couple of things I highlighted in class. Make sure you have a decent amount of detail. Okay, you want to treat your conclusion like a peel paragraph, meaning you have a point about whether or not the overall effects of imperialism on that country are positive and or negative. And you're highlighting your evidence, and your evidence should be coming from Site 1 and Site 2. So the one thing you want to highlight for sure is the Site 2 example here of the site of this massacre, which took place during the British colonization of India. Make sure you are taking the person who is doing your travel itinerary in your magazine or website, whatever you choose to do, to a specific place. Some of you had things like education system, which is great, this example here. However, this example here would actually not get full marks because it is not taking the person to a specific place. But I think most of us have addressed that already. Okay, make your language engaging and make sure you're following along each of these different parts of the rubric. Make sure, like I said, one of your sources can be Wikipedia. You need 10 sources total, one of which can be Wikipedia. The other 9 need to be something else, and that's for the entire magazine or website. Remember, you need to have, if it is working individually, it is a 6-page magazine. You have a title page, 1 page for each of your 4 countries, and a bibliography. And then if you are doing with a partner, it would be a 10-page magazine, because we just double the amount of pages in the middle. You would still have a title page. You would have 1 page for each of your 8 countries with a partner and a bibliography. I will not be allowing anyone going over that limit, because we need to ensure that the expectations and what you're writing is fair for everyone. Okay, I've been getting some good questions. Make sure your language is engaging. Make sure you've proofread it. We are looking at grammar here on this final one. You want to make sure it has good use of visual aids, and you want to make sure it's appropriate to the audience. Okay, you're designing it for someone doing a trip, so it shouldn't just be stating the facts. You're talking about traveling to these countries and learning about the different parts involved in the history of imperialism in that country. Okay, so with that in mind, we will submit that on the morning of Monday, and then we'll have 2 classes left to wrap up the year. I'm sure you've been reading a lot in the news lately about a lot of protests happening around the world. So I thought, as a history teacher, it might be interesting to look at a history of racism and issues related to activism and racism in America, as we are an American school. It is something that does come up in the grade 10 history curriculum for those of us taking grade 10 history next year, not those taking AP as much. But I thought it would be a nice way to end the year and have some interesting conversations regarding some of these challenging issues that you maybe are seeing in the news media as of late. So with that in mind, guys, it should be a nice way to wrap up with some interesting conversations. I really look forward to seeing your magazines. And I just wanted to send a huge thank you out to both the students in grade 9 history. You guys have been outstanding throughout the year. I've really, really enjoyed teaching you, and I've told my principals that. I've told the other history teachers that I think I'm really lucky this year that I got such a fun and intelligent group in grade 9 history. And I also wanted to send a thank you to the parents of the students in grade 9 history, because I know this adaptation to online learning was something we were all a little nervous about. And I've just been so impressed with everyone's work. And I know this has been a real team effort, most importantly from the students, but I know the parents have played a huge part in this. So thank you as well for all of your contributions throughout the year for everyone, and in particular the second semester, because it's been a challenge, but we've made it through. You're coming up on a summer holiday, which will hopefully be restful and relaxing. You guys certainly deserve it. We'll look forward to seeing you in class. We can say our farewells for the school year this week. And thanks again, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you in class soon.